Hello fans, Black Tiger once again. We're talking about vaporwave today and how it's being made more mainstream. It's coming into the mainstream. They've finally done it. They finally so ran out of ideas with the mainstream music, like they haven't already, that they're now reaching into the genre of vaporwave made popular on the internet, a very small subculture of art music listeners, because vaporwave is nothing like traditional music. It's more akin to 21st century art music, except for it doesn't all sound like pure absolute garbage like so much 21st century music does. So let's look at this example of how it's being done and what elements it contains from the genre. So this is coming from UMG, Universal Music Group. They're the head of it all, at the very tippy top when you follow the chain. And this is the newest Ariana Grande song and music video, which is absolutely god-awful terrible. And of course, because they're so unoriginal and they can't ever think of their own original ideas, the whole entire song is a remake, a riff off of Rodgers and Hammerstein's My Favorite Things from The Sound of Music from 1959. Wow, how clever and original. You guys aren't the 20th people to redo that song. So, anyways, starting off, just look at the title screen. The title screen is so obviously ripping from Vaporwave, it's not even funny. They have the pink and blue pastels, and they have the title with, Japanese under it, kanji or katakana or whatever the hell, that specifically is, but, Japanese lettering, so. Oh, isn't that cool? It's like not all in English, it's like Japanese. Oh man, it's so unique and cool, isn't it? No, it's freaking lame. You don't speak Japanese, you don't read Japanese, I don't speak or read Japanese. What in the hell are you, all you Vaporwave artists using freaking Japanese lettering for? It's stupid. Doesn't make any damn sense. It's a real good way for people to not be able to search for and find your music by having your title in a completely different language with characters that aren't even on their keyboard, that you have to use a special virtual keyboard through your computer to use. That's real cool. People not being able to find your stuff, but oh, it's so unique, man. It's so unique. Oh, it's aesthetic. Ugh. These people are dumb. So, right there, from the bat, you can tell, okay, this whole video is ripping off Vaporwave, but let's see how else it's doing it. In this first screenshot here, you can see this screen where the characters in the video are allegedly playing this video game. And quite frankly, it seems like just a basic rip-off of Pole Position. But what it's really ripping off of is vector graphics. Look at the ground on the side of the, supposed road that this car is driving on. First off, the car isn't done in vector style. It's like a holographic image, more or less. But the flooring, that's vector style. Vector imaging, it's just lines. It's drawn lines that connect from point to point. So that, tile grid on the sides of the road, that is vector graphics. And where does that come from? Well, it comes from vector imaging, which is a, old style of graphics. They used it for a really cool arcade game that is actually very fun, called Battlezone. Here's a screenshot of that. So, as you can tell, everything is just rendered lines. Every 3D image is just rendered lines. That's why you can, see through the tank. But, you can tell it's a 3D object, and that's what's so cool about it. It was, like a 2D style of doing 3D, by just having lines. You'll notice there's actually two colors. There's green and red. Battlezone was able to have two colors like that. I'm not sure if they have any more colors, because it's an arcade game, and obviously arcade games can have a much higher memory capacity than small home consoles, which is why small home consoles are so less capable of arcade games, and all of the console versions of what were arcade games are nowhere near as, technically good as the arcade games. For instance, the Ninja Turtles arcade game, the 4-player one, it has better graphics, better music, and better levels than all of the home console versions, because the home console versions, they just don't have as much memory capacity and all that. So because the system restricts its capabilities, they have to make compromises and change things. That's why on the Super Nintendo, the Turtles game is Turtles in Time, and on the Sega Genesis, it's the Hyperstone Heist. Both those games are different. Both those games utilize different technologies, such as Super Nintendo utilizing their Mode 7 technology, which gives more of a 3D feel. And also, obviously, on the Super Nintendo and the Sega, they use different sound chips. The Super Nintendo used a Sony sound chip that's actually using sound samples, but the Sega Genesis is using a Yamaha sound chip that actually live generates the tones. So that's why the music sounds different on the Super Nintendo than it does on the Sega. It generally sounds more, crystal clear with the instrumentation on the Super Nintendo, but Genesis typically sounds more raw or more awful if the people that were composing the music didn't know how to, sound design properly. But, I think that Ninja Turtles Hyperstone Heist is a very good example of a Sega Genesis game with great music that I think it personally sounds better than the Super Nintendo Turtles in Time, just because of how much more raw of a sound it is, and it's more rock and roll, because that's what the soundtrack mainly is for Ninja Turtles. It's like rock, jazz, fusion. Japanese composers, they are amazing. They make some absolutely phenomenal music for video games. Some of the best like rock, jazz, fusion type stuff you've ever heard. If you want to hear a really good game soundtrack, check out Elebits, The Sound of You. That's what the album is called, but the game Elebits for Nintendo Wii, absolutely beautiful, amazing soundtrack. It brings tears to my eyes, like, no joke. It's seriously that good. I have that much of a nostalgic feeling for it. So, anyways, getting back to the main topic here. Another home console, well, okay, to further expound upon this vector graphics thing, there was a home console called the Vectrex, and the Vectrex was a very interesting example of vector graphics. If I can cue the image up here, I thought that I had these things in order, but apparently not. So, one example of a game on Vectrex is Mindstorm, and you can see here that spaceship is rendered with the lines so it can look 3D, but the overlay, the yellow border around it, the lettering Mindstorm, that little logo, that's an overlay. As you can see here in this screenshot, Vectrex games used overlays to give the games color because the system itself isn't capable of generating anything more than just the base white lines. So that's why the console, every game you would purchase, I think they were in larger boxes because of the overlays, but you needed to put the overlay on the screen. So that's how the Vectrex worked, and here is an example of that. Another one here is a pole position. Obviously, the graphics are better on other systems, but, like I'm saying, this is a different style of graphics. This is vector imaging style, so to add color to the game, you put on the overlay. That's how they get the blue sky and the like dirt, yellow, brownish ground, and the mountain range is like just kind of black there. So that's a little bit of info for y'all on vector imaging. So now back to the music video. Let's go to the next screenshot here. As you can see, a Roman style column with a potted plant with a palm tree coming out the top. That's totally not stolen from Vaporwave. No, they're being completely original here. And once again, the entire music video is cast in hues of blue and pink pastel. The exact blue and pink pastel that is the classic trope from Vaporwave that the Reddit subreddit vapor_wave uses, which is the better Vaporwave, better than Vaporwave without an underscore between the two words. That sub is a hellhole controlled by leftist fascists, but anyway, moving on here, let's check out the next screenshot. Oh, what do you know? A pyramid. Fancy that. An Illuminati music video using a pyramid. Who would have guessed? Much like the previous screenshot where that video game screen, the holographic screen, is an upside down pyramid with the capstone missing. But oh, don't think it's a pyramid. It's just a triangle, man. It's just a shape. What's wrong with shape? People like shapes. They teach you shapes in school. It's not a pyramid. Yeah, no, this is a pyramid. People need to stop being fools and open their eyes to the fact that the music industry, the movie industry, the entertainment industry, all these industries are dominated by people that are working within the Illuminati. So, going on to our next screenshot here. Here's Ariana Grande lying down in a victim sacrifice pose, wearing a dress made of rings, because, 7 rings, get it? Like, her dress is made of rings. Oh, that's so clever, so clever. But she is lying down on the staircase to the altar, the Freemason altar, as you can tell by the pillars on the right and the left side, the pillars of Joachim and Boaz that they use. I'll try to throw a screenshot of that up on the screen real fast here, just as a reference, so you guys can see what I'm talking about if you don't already know. And of course, she has these people in latex rabbit suits on the altar, sitting in provocative poses on top of one another. There's, one touching the other's ass. The other one is bending over the other one like they're about to get it on. And of course, what are rabbits known as? Rabbits are used as the occult sign of fertility because everyone knows rabbits have sex a lot and have a lot of babies. So that's what they're doing there with the rabbits and the latex. They're, pushing that symbology, and they're also pushing latex fetishes on people because of how sexually provocative it is. That's what they're doing. It's not nothing for no reason. They are pushing latex fetishism on people, just like when Ariana Grande wore that latex rabbit suit with the rabbit ears. I'll try to throw a screenshot of that on the screen now. So, moving on to our next screenshot from the video here. Oh, what do you know? More vector graphics. It's like a cool mountain range, it's a bunch of hills protruding up, and look at the way that the color fades from light blue to darker blue to purple to pink to light pink, like red, pinkish. Oh man, so cool, so original. Yeah, except for it's not. I've seen that 100 times in vaporwave music videos and album art imagery, so my goodness, this director for this video super ripped off of vaporwave memes and tropes way hard. Let's move on to the next screenshot from the music video. Here we have Ariana Grande and one of her other bitches twerking. Because everyone twerk it out, right? And be sexually provocative and shake your ass for men. And of course, she's sticking her tongue out for the devil. Stick your tongue out for the devil, Ariana. So cool. So awesome. Oh, next screenshot. Here you can see the license plate from one of the cars. And just so conveniently, it has the numbers 0626. 6 and 2 6s. Like 666. That's not what they're implying. No. Except for, no, it totally is. That's how they're getting away with having 666 in the music video, but not making it glaringly obvious by straight up displaying it as 666. It's encoded into this number sequence, 6 and 2 6s. So, once again, the Illuminati people place their signs everywhere in all of their works of, quote, art. So let's go to the next screenshot, the final screenshot. And what do you know? A distorted, television signal ending, like where it cuts out, like a VHS tape that's been ruined, and, it's all distorted and blotchy and, random noise colors. That's so original. Except for it's not. Except for I've seen that in so many freaking vaporwave music videos, it's not even funny. This is a joke, man. This is what happens when people completely lack originality and just copy off of other popular things so they can try to ride the wave and be successful based on putting out something that they know people already enjoy, the imagery and all that. So really sad, really pathetic. And what's even more sad and pathetic is the fact that the entire song is just a rework of Rodgers and Hammerstein's My Favorite Things from 1959. Because, you know, that song hasn't been done freaking 50 times by other artists already. No, this is so clever and original. How clever and original. I've never had to say how clever and original so many times in my life. That's a joke that I use whenever I see people posting memes as comments on videos where it's like, wow, dude, how clever and original. Did you think of that all on your own? Like, good job. You can say the same exact meme that everyone else is saying. You're so cool. You're a part of the cool kids club. Now you fit in. Don't you feel good because you fit in because you said that thing that everyone else is saying? Oh man, how clever and original. It's so freaking lame. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy some memes. I use some, phrases that other people use, but God, things like oof. I do not say oof. I can't stand people saying oof because it's, once again, oh yeah, how clever and original. You can say the exact same thing that everyone else says. You fit in now. Yay, you're cool. Like, feel good about yourself. It's just stupid. So there you go, guys. That's my brief analysis. Not really brief. It's almost 20 minutes here. 15. Oh my gosh. But yeah, that's my analysis of this video. It's super Illuminati. If you know what you're looking for, if you're watching with your eyes open and you're not just mindlessly listening and watching without giving anything any thought, like so many people do when they watch movies, because watching movies and television changes your brainwave state into a state that's more passive, where you're more accepting of information that's coming in, to your head without questioning it. You're more easily influenced and persuaded and propagandized when your brainwave activity is at that state. So yeah, that's what's up with this newest trash that they are using Ariana Grande to push. It's not an Ariana Grande music video. It's not an Ariana Grande song. Because once again, the actual song, where the lyrics and the melody comes from, they are just redoing Rodgers and Hammerstein's My Favorite Things from 1959. She did not think of any lyrics. She did not think of anything for the music video. The music video is directed by a completely different person. So they are just using Ariana Grande. She is just a puppet. She is not an artist. She is not a songwriter. She is barely even a singer. They have to use auto-tune and autocorrect to make it so that she even sounds good. This is garbage. So don't support mainstream music. Don't support Vivo. Don't, buy music from anything that's published by Universal Music Group. I can't stand this crap. I can't stand a lot of vaporwave because a lot of it is just uninspired, unoriginal. It's like they're not even trying. It's just, simplistic crap that anyone could have done. But this is just pure garbage right here. So stay alert, my friends. Stay knowledgeable and do your research, do your homework. And don't let Illuminati garbage enter your life and influence your mind and corrupt you and ruin you and turn you into another mindless consumer zombie, as has happened with the genre of vaporwave. Of course, I knew it was going to go that way. Once I saw that people started copying the same exact tropes and themes as, original vaporwave artists and other people that started coming up, I knew that it was going to turn into a commodity and a consumer thing, which a lot of original vaporwave is like anti-consumer culture, which, pisses me off even more. And I knew that was happening once people started buying cassette tapes and vinyl records and CDs of vaporwave music. It's like, oh man, isn't it so cool? I'm using an outdated technology. I'm using cassette tapes. Yeah, man, this is like the truest form of vaporwave. It's like, no, you're just another idiot that's being sold shit like a consumer zombie because you're so in love with this crap. Don't get me wrong. I love vaporwave. I have my favorite artist, Mesh, which was, I guess technically it's pronounced Mesh, even though it's spelled N:"Mesh. But either way, Mesh makes some great music. Dream Sequence and Pharma are absolutely fantastic albums. Chuck Person's Eco Jams is great. Floral Shop is not my favorite, but that's, quintessential vaporwave. That's one of the original albums that popularized the genre. But as I'm saying, now that all these tropes and memes and the aesthetic has been codified, into a recognizable form, Now it's being picked up by the mainstream, and it's going to be further turned into just another soulless commodity with no artistic value or merit. That's what happens when people keep on doing the same damn thing. It turns into a fucking commodity. So, thanks for listening, guys. Do not support these terrible companies pushing this terrible Illuminati garbage. Stay alert and stay well. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. And pretty please, donate to my Patreon. Oh my god, I need money. I'm so broke. I'm not joking. Like, for real, I need money. If you can support me, that will be absolutely fantastic. Even just $1 a month. So once again, like, share, subscribe, donate to the Patreon. Like, share, subscribe, donate to the Patreon. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.